Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Amal Mukhtar. I have all the pleasure to be with you in this special coverage covering the meeting held by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and the President during the meeting was stressing on the give directives to boost incentives of the economic opportunities and open a way for the private sector. And we are going to cover this issue with and this topic with our dear guest, His Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumy, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good afternoon, Your Excellency.
Good afternoon. How are you?
How are you, sir? Well, Your Excellency, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi directed enhancing the economic incentives to benefit from the opportunities which are available for the private sector. So how do you weigh the private sector's contribution to push Egypt's economic growth?
I am so happy to hear this because, as you will know, I am from Damietta.
Yes.
Nobody in Damietta will be proud if he is hired by the government or anybody else. Each Damiettian has his own small project. And you will be amazed that in Damietta, the percentage of educated people is 100%. The percentage of employment is 103%. Maybe these are old figures, but this is the case. Why? Because in Damietta they say in the morning I am a student, in the afternoon I have my own shop. That is how a Damiettian would look to this thing. But on the other hand, I always raise the question I am asking you now. Have you ever seen one movie or some program in our TV where there is a good businessman? No. The model of a businessman in all our movies is a bad guy who is stealing your pocket, who is doing bad things to the working classes and this and that. How then you are expecting that good businessmen would come and invest in a country which is looking to an investor as a second-class citizen? Anyway, happy that our president now is doing his best to give the hand to the private sector. And I am totally with this private sector. As you know, because I have a history there. Although at the end of the day, I am a government employee since more than 60 years, but I know that we have to depend on the private sector. Government cannot do all the jobs.
Yes.
There are things by nature cannot be covered by a government. The food industry or the hotels or the restaurants and. So we need to encourage more and more investors to come and to invest in our country. Not only Egyptians, but also Arabs and foreign direct investment coming from abroad.
Yes. Your Excellency, Ambassador Bayoumy, you've mentioned a very important point, which is the working youth, as you've just mentioned in your example in the Damietta. This is, we call it small and medium enterprises and entrepreneurship, which is, of course, something that the President also have encouraged the state to support.
Yes, this is a very important point, because all of us, when we talk about investment or projects, we think about El Mahalla factory for textile. No. We met a couple of years ago a German economist who make a very interesting book named Hidden Heroes. And by the way, Hidden Heroes is translated into Arabic by Al-Ahram. It is Abtal Mustafirun, hidden heroes. Who are the hidden heroes in Germany? He asked us during his lecture if we know the names of some companies in Germany. And he didn't give us the name of Mercedes or Siemens or those companies. No. Very small names which we have never hear about them. And he gave us the striking fact that 80% of what Germany is exporting is the very small project side.
Yes.
Not Siemens, not Mercedes. Those are the hidden heroes. So we need to have this model, because it is also in any other companies in Europe, and this is a model which we have to encourage our young citizens, in order to wait for an employee to be employed by others, to have his own small projects.
Yes.
And they say that in Damietta, coming back to Damietta, there are more than 50,000 small projects in carpentering, in many industries, sweet industry, tourism, all these things which Damietta is famous about. Let us look at least to the Damietta example, not even to Germany.
Yes, Your Excellency Ambassador Bayoumy, what are the means to increase the investment flows and also to provide financial requirements that are needed for the development nationwide amid the global economic crisis?
This is another story, and of course we need to improve our financial organizations, starting by the banking system, which is not the best in the world. And I always say that if you go to a bank, you have to be free for at least a couple of hours to draw a check. This is too much, because bureaucracy is killing the opportunities of investment. While yesterday I gave the example of a bank in Germany. I had an account with a bank in Germany. And every now and then I got 10 check papers to draw the checks. So the lady there asked me, what did you do with the last 10 checks? I gave it to you. I said, why? She said, because I gave you the checks of some other client. And I was signing checks from other client, and there was no problem at all. Why? Because there is insurance for every single piece of check by 1,000 euros.
Yes, sir.
Take this as an example. Can we reach such a level of freedom of banking system? Bureaucracy is another thing. Once I went to a government institution making some business for me.
Yes.
He said, where is your ID? I give the ID. Where is this and that and this and that? And the gentleman told me, do you think that in the first visit you make to us, that you can finish your business? No, this is not good for the prestige of the government. As if the prestige must make me go to the same office several times. This is the culture of one public or government employee. Gamal Abdel Nasser, by the way, told us that this is the real problem, that a bureaucrat not trying to make his job as soon as possible. No, he thinks it is his prestige that to delay and make you waiting for him.
Yes, sir.
Things like that, and we have to knock the door for each problem. And
yes, sir. Bayoumy, Egypt will host the 33rd meeting of the African Export-Import Bank 2026 in June. What is the importance of the event in boosting cooperation among the African countries? This
is very, very important also, because I have a humble experience in Africa. I served in Africa in 2 countries, and I visited many African countries. First, they look very positively to Egypt, and they love Egypt. They love Gamal Abdel Nasser. They love Muhammad Ali Bajra. And the River Nile is connecting us with many African countries. Also, when I was nominated as ambassador to Cameroon, I told Dr. Boutros Ghali that Cameroon size of area is half of Egypt, but 70% of Cameroon is cultivated, but they do not use all the area. What is to us also. And this will cost us less, much less than we produce in Egypt, and we share with an African country the results. Ideas like that. Also, one day I imported a whole container of canned food, and I started to sell it for the diplomatic missions in Yaoundé, Cameroon. And I had a phone call from Simon Achille Chou, the Prime Minister, telling me, I am not thanking you for this, but I am congratulating you that we didn't know that Egypt has such important industry. Because most of the agriculture products in Cameroon, they don't have a way to keep it, so they must throw it. We need to establish small projects like canned food and things like that. And I think Egypt, with its humble experience, it can help many African countries doing this.
Yes.
So a bank, of course, is very important because the finance is a very important issue to solve this problem.
Yes, the CBE governor, the central bank governor have asserted the need to increase the dependency of the African self-capabilities and development of the regional value supply chains. So what is your intake on this?
First, that we have a very good experience concerning banking system, and we can teach many of our brothers in Africa how to maintain a good banking system. And by the way, I am so happy that from now and then I go to many Egyptian institutes where they are training some African brothers coming from many African countries. So we have the experience which we can give to our African brothers. Second, that we have the Egyptian fund for investment in Africa, but it needs more and more capital. We have to increase the capital so we can start cooperating with Africa with this sort of finance in order to establish many small size and medium sized industries. So happy to hear what our central bank governor is saying. One another good news, which was not well defined, that the reserve of the Egyptian central bank now exceeded $50 billion. Something I am happy about. And whenever I say that, they said, but also we have to cover our debts. Yes, but at this moment we have in our pockets more than $52 billion. We shall pay this in the coming 30 years. But now we have 52 plus that $1 billion in our pockets. So this is good, but not good enough because we can do more. Egypt has the ability to do much more better, but I want to tell you that the whole world is suffering economically. All the developed countries by minus because the development rate is less than their expenditure, except 10 countries. Egypt is among them. We are still making development by 5%. Good news, but not good enough. We want to go up till 8% to cover the birth rate, which is very high in Egypt. We gave birth in the last 10 years to 27 million new children. 80% of Europe countries did not reach 27 million, which we gave birth to children in the last 10 years. Things like that.
Yes.
We have to deal with all these small obstacles in order to cover all what we need for our country and even for our friendly countries.
Yes. Your Excellency, Ambassador Bayoumy, the government is exerting efforts to reduce inflation rates, to increase the dollar flows and to enhance foreign reserves. How do you assess the outcome of these steps? Very
important also, and I am glad with what I heard from our Minister of finance that we are still borrowing. We are still using other countries' money, but the percentage of our debts to our GDP is going less and less and less. So I am confident that we are not in the category of the most heavily indebted countries or troubled countries concerning finance.
Yes.
We are in very good hands concerning finance. We have all the experience and the experts to deal with the matter.
I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumy, former Assistant Foreign Minister. We really had the honor to have this phone with you. With this, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of our special coverage. Please stay tuned for more updates on Nile TV International. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.